The fog is thick this morning. It sits low over the paddocks, clinging to the tops of grass like a woolen blanket. And for a moment the world feels smaller, quieter. Just me, the mist, and the sound of the chickens scratching in the damp soil. It's the last day of autumn, and it feels strange to say because it doesn't feel like autumn at all. There's been no frost yet, none. Not a single silver edge to the grass in the mornings. Folks who have lived here their whole lives say that it's very unusual for this area. And so the warmth lingers, soft and unexpected, and we take what it can give us. After the rat ate my kale seedlings in the greenhouse, I decided just to sprinkle some kale seeds on the garden bed, and I put a little protection over them just to see if that helps a little, and they seem to be going okay. The air is heavy with change and I can feel winter waiting just beyond the horizon, ready to roll in and set the rules again. I'll have to pick what's left of the capsicums, and I'm going to pick some chillies this afternoon to make some more sweet chilli sauce before the cold finally claims them. The daikon radish caught aphids too, and I had to pull off half the leaves, and for a while I thought it wouldn't recover, but it's pushing back now and the new leaves seem really green and healthy. And the parsley and Chinese red spinach are popping up everywhere they please. I let it grow wherever it wants now. It feels like a kindness to let the plants be wild, to let them live where they want to choose. And since I was so devastated by the rat eating my kale seedlings in the greenhouse, Paul built me these seedling boxes from old window screens. It doesn't sound like much, but it's changed everything. This lot actually have a whole heap of weeds in them and I'll have to empty them and start again. But in this side, it's more exciting. There's heaps of trays of flowers coming up under these screens and they're thriving. So these wooden frames are just screens up across the top, no bottoms, because the greenhouse table's underneath a mesh too, so the rats can't get in. I've asked Paul to make some more boxes for me, but we need some more materials first. Out here, everything just depends on what you can salvage and what you can reuse. Nothing happens fast, but maybe that's for the best. We've started saving every cardboard box we can find, and over winter I'll lay them down to smother the grass and shape new garden beds. The land is slowly turning into what we imagined it could be. It's slow work though. Let me take you through the front garden bed just to show you a bit of an update. It's a tangle of life right now. Chinese red spinach is going to seed and I'll grab those and sprinkle them everywhere else. There's grama growing everywhere, but I think that's going to die back because it's going to be too cold and the gramas won't survive. There's a bit of bok choy there that's coming up, and the lavender's doing well. The parsley is abundant. The Senna Sensation is covered in parsley, so hopefully that will survive. The daisies are still doing pretty well. And we planted cover crop in a few different places. It was crimson clover, buckwheat, vetch, and oh gosh, I can't remember the other one that we had in there, but there was a mix of 4. Today felt very different. My dad and my stepmother, Mon, are coming to visit Chimney Creek Farm for the first time. My dad had a stroke back in January when we were still in Thailand, and his health hasn't really been the same since, and that's part of why I wanted him to come out here and sit by the fire, to see the sunset over our hills, and to feel what we've been building out here, this quiet, stubborn life. Paul had to fix up some of the shed veranda that we've been building, and you can see he's got 2 posts there in the middle, so the steel post is the new one and there's the old wooden one temporarily that has to be removed as well. Paul works on finishing cementing in the 2 new steel posts. We made a garden tool rack out of an old table that was donated to us by Christy, Scott and Lincoln, and it works really well for us. We paid a quick visit to Lana, our permaculture teacher. She has a way of giving more than just seedlings. She gives hope for the future in the form of tiny leaves and roots. She gave us some chicory, keltis, beetroot, celery, rocket and carrots. People say that carrots can't be transplanted, but we've proven them wrong so far. I've realised that carrots need heaps of water. You'll see in our front garden bed the calendulas have been popping up everywhere, and the grevilleas that Chris and Rex planted are doing really well. I've been grabbing all the calendula seed heads and after they've dried and sprinkling them everywhere, so they're becoming a little bit prolific, which is fantastic. And the rosemary is doing quite well. The winter rouge is doing well too, and more calendulas. I just love the pop of yellow that they bring to the garden. And the native mint is as beautiful and elegant as ever and always gets well through the winter here. This other lavender here isn't doing as well. It was planted over a whole heap of rocks, so I'm not sure if it gets all the nutrients it needs. And our rare endangered Tenterfield mint is looking a little bit yellow as well, so we might need to give it a bit of love. The hot lip salvias are doing really well, and the bees really love them, and I think they've been blooming now for about 8 months. I can't believe it. And our citrus trees are waiting patiently to be put into the ground. And puppy Truffle's behaving herself for a change. This afternoon I sat down and sorted through the giant Russian hardneck garlic bulbs that Lana gave us. They're big and beautiful things, solid in their hands, and their skins are papery but tight, like they're holding on to a secret. So I've just broken the bulb apart gently, trying to be careful not to bruise the cloves. Each clove will grow into its own new bulb by next season, so I'm just setting aside the smallest ones for cooking because only the largest cloves will give you the biggest bulbs when the harvest comes. And all the dry garlic skins will go into our compost bin. Before I plant the rest of these garlic bulbs tomorrow, I'll soak them overnight in a mix that I think works really well so far. Is some seaweed solution, a dash of Nutritech BAM and some worm tea mixed in with some water. Some people don't like doing this step of soaking them overnight, but I've heard that soaking helps them strengthen their roots and helps keep disease at bay. So I'll leave them in these containers overnight, drawing in that goodness and swelling ever so slightly. In the morning they'll be ready, and I'll push each clove into the soil, pointy end up, and about a hand's width apart where I've got room, and then I'll tuck them into a soft layer of mulch. Garlic loves a deep, rich bed with plenty of compost, and then it's patience. 6, 7, sometimes 8 months of waiting, trusting the cold to do its work. There's something about planting garlic at this time of year that feels hopeful. You press it into the dark earth in the chill of the approaching winter, knowing that you won't be able to see its reward until the world has warmed again. Puppy, come. Good girl. I also planted the 2 chocos that Lana gave us, one white and one green. I've tried growing choco before and failed, but it never hurts to try again. That's the way with gardening, you just keep giving things another chance. A choco isn't planted as a seed, it's planted whole, just as it is, because the seed lives inside the fruit. Lana gave us some flower heads too, cosmos, zinnias, dahlias, and maybe a few surprises mixed in there. and I spent most of the afternoon sorting through them and picking out the seeds and putting them into some smaller airtight containers. There's something deeply satisfying about saving flower seeds. It's like keeping tiny pieces of sunlight for later. I labelled the containers, set them on my little shelf, and I can't wait to sow them when spring comes. I don't know exactly what will grow, especially with all those mixed seeds, but that's part of the joy. Come spring, I'll probably just scatter them through the garden and wait. Some will surprise me, some might not grow at all, but I know it's going to be beautiful no matter what comes. So now I've got my garlic soaking and my flower seeds safely tucked away for springtime. We also did a second sift through our pink peppercorns that we harvested from our trees here, and they will be mixed in with our black peppercorns in our grinder. With my dad and stepmother's arrival imminent, my son Eli mowed the grass in the rain just to make things look tidy. The rain was the kind that was slow and steady and making the soil smell rich and alive. Eli has to go back in hospital in a couple of weeks for more surgery. I try not to let that weigh too heavily on me, but it does. There's a strange helplessness in it, knowing there's nothing you can do but wait and hope. But we do what we can. We mow the grass, we plant the seeds. We sort flower heads into little containers and plan for spring. It feels like an act of defiance against worry, like planting things is our way of saying that we believe that there's a future worth growing into. That first night we had roast dinner, simple, warm, familiar. When they arrived, the rain had stopped. And while dinner was cooking, Dad took Eli on a driving lesson around the property. Mon was wrapped up in my warmest jumper and we all laughed at how cold she still thought it was.
Have a look at Mon. She's totally... Yeah.
It's warm, isn't it?
No, she's cold.
Oh, geez.
The fire truck got stuck over here, and it's almost right in the valley where the water would run through underneath.
You just on a bit of a bump there with the shed,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it would have come through and
would have come back.
yep, and pretty much he got stuck just on the other side of that plant.
We gave Dad and Mon a tour of the property and showed them up the top of the hill where we dream of building our house one day. And the goats were right there for Dad.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number one.
And an eagle or maybe a hawk circled overhead.
Gotta slow down and look around you, son. Today is just today and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
That night we lit the fire and We had osso buco in the camp oven. And while the camp oven meal cooked, my dad picked the ripest grama that we had on the vine.
Be hard working so you can be deserving of the rest that you are given. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Give a lot and live a little. Work with what you got.
Whoa, let's see it. Oh, that's a big one. You got a big one, Dad.
I got a big one. You don't want to miss that real big one you got there.
There's a few there.
Yeah, so you might keep the seeds of that other one.
Cannot be hidden. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
We drank wine, laughed, and talked the way you do when you're wrapped in firelight, the kind of talking that drifts and settles like smoke.
Get along, give a hand, sleep heavy, be the man. Just
And Mon roasted a banana in its skin in the fire. Puppy wants to see what's happening too.
easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
Autumn is ending, but for this brief borrowed moment, it feels like the world has given us just a little more time, and I will take it gratefully, fiercely, because moments like this don't always come twice. You're out of control. I'm going to put this on YouTube, you know.
You better not.
They collected eggs, 2 blue and 1 cream, and held them like rare jewels. The frost is coming soon and winter will finally take hold, but not tonight. Tonight the fire is warm and the house is full and the land feels alive.